This video will generate future billionaires because I'll explain what you need to do at 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 to go financially ahead. If you're older, use it as a checklist to stay on track. If you simply do a handful of these things, you'll be so ahead of everyone else that people won't believe you. I became a millionaire in my 20s, but I could have done it faster if I had watched this video. If you miss steps, you may regret it. Watch the video for your age and do all of these things. Let's start at 13. Time in the market is the most significant factor in investing, but what does it mean? Simply said, you want your money invested for as long as possible so it can expand rapidly like a snowball rolling down a hill and becoming an avalanche. We oldies agree that you're in the best position if you're 13 or younger and watching this video. How do you invest at this age? You need a parent or guardian to start a custodial account since you're too young to invest. I know it may be hard to talk to your parents about money and investing. My parents never talked about money, but show them the next 30 seconds of this movie so I can encourage them to open one. Custodial accounts are adult-controlled investment accounts for minors, usually family members. These names vary by location. British parents can invest up to £9,000 in a junior stocks and shares ISA on your behalf. Though they don't have to, you may ask them to deposit money into the account and buy stocks and shares on birthdays and holidays. I've invested in a low-cost S&P 500 index fund for years, but this isn't financial advice. This invests in just over 500 of the largest U.S. public corporations, so you don't have to pick stocks. As of May 2024, the S&P 500 has returned 12.58% annually over the past decade. Investments can rise and fall. If you have a junior stocks and shares ISA, you can start managing it at 16 and withdraw money at 18. But if you're like me, you'll want to keep it growing. Americans have two main options, UGMA and UTMA. These both allow unlimited donations, although gift tax may apply if your parent or guardian contributes more than $18,000 per year. The only distinction is that UTMAs allow real estate and fine art investments. Most banks and brokerages provide custodial accounts. Vanguard is my choice for the UK and US due to their minimal costs and longevity. If you're under 18, please talk to your parents about getting one of these accounts because it gives you a head start. Continue to age 14. Another benefit of being older is that you may not have to pay rent or other monthly expenditures. Since you don't need a steady income every month, you can attempt new things to create money. Get outside and try pressure washing driveways and competitive sports. Not everything must be about money. Other activities can teach you how to make money later in life. My son Curtis woke up at 4 a.m. for swimming practice most mornings. Though he didn't make any money, this taught him focus so he could outwork his competition when he started his business at 18. Many teens tell me they don't have a talent, but when I ask what their hobbies are, they can't name any. You can't find your skill without trying many things. If it fails, try something else. Double down on something you're good at or like improving at, and aim to be the best. Next, age 15. I miss birthday and Christmas presents from childhood. Though my parents weren't rich, I got more than I do now. That's the reality of growing up, especially for young men. So instead of asking for £4 games and other gifts you won't care about in a few months, ask for cash whenever possible. I also propose getting a Saturday job. Don't be picky. Working behind a retail store counter can make you some additional cash. Many vital social skills will prepare you for the real world. As long as you don't spend it, these two items will help you save money. Since most kids save money poorly, I prefer stash. A new game console or theme park day will be their reward after months of saving. Of course, we all like roller coasters. You should spend some of your money to have fun, but use your stash as a launch pad to create more money. Starting from nothing is the toughest thing in the world, so if you can avoid that even with $100, it will be much simpler. Almost forgot. Get your provisional license. You can do this in the UK at 15 years and 9 months, so it's worth having even if you won't use it immediately away. Now, it's serious at 16. You have 2 years before entering the workforce, so consider about what talents you'll build. Doing what I've outlined in this video should give you a decent understanding of your strengths. These may appear unconnected, but pick a few and build on them. I invested in stuff to improve my selling, designing mechanics and woodworking talents when I was younger. I didn't know how to connect them, but I knew it would make sense. I'm not talking about buying courses because there are so many bogus gurus out there asking for money. There are nice ones, though. However, joining the group where you can discuss and learn is even better. You should spend most of your money on equipment. My son bought his first iMac from his uncle for $500. He used part-time work savings for this. He would sit at the Mac and learn everything about it because it was his largest investment. Eventually, he taught himself Photoshop and video editing. Tool investments like these can open many avenues. Between now and 18, your main goal should be to acquire these talents so you can generate more money than a video game player. This is because you can bring value to the world. This greatly reduces the training a corporation must provide, relieving them. Up to 17. Please pay close attention. Pass your driving exam. You may not need to drive at 17, but the sooner you do, the better. Some U.S. jurisdictions allow this at 16. Remember to do it once. Most people refrain from launching a side business due to driving issues. Imagine working with a customer who lives 30 minutes away and can't obtain a lift every week. Public transportation is unreliable, as we all know. You'll probably earn a negative reputation and appear unprofessional, losing that opportunity. Being early and on time is one of my daily rules. On time means late, which is unacceptable. If you're viewing this, take driving lessons. Don't regret not jumping on it sooner. It may be terrifying at first. Personally, I found it exciting, but consider the wider picture. Once you realize you can utilize some of your savings to buy a cheap starter car, nothing can stop you. Now comes the big one. Age 18. After 18, the world opens up. As an adult, you can do several things to improve your finances. I wish someone had instructed me what to do on my 18th birthday. I'll do that for you now. I've listed 7 steps to success. You should complete all of these things ASAP, even if you're above 18. Comment on how many you've checked off. First, open bank accounts. Your first logical step after turning 18 is opening your own bank accounts. Seriously, you need 2 accounts. A current account or checking account is the first. Your money should enter and exit here. Say you landed a coffee shop job. After the coffee business deposits your paycheck into your account, you can spend it as you choose. Second, a high-interest savings account. In case your income drops due to unforeseen circumstances, start saving 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Just like drinking a big pot shield potion on Fortnite, but keeping minutes ready. Where should you open accounts? You should look for low-fee banks. I used to get charged for silly things often. These accounts shouldn't cost anything. I also recommend having 2 bank accounts to make your savings harder to spend. Out of sight, out of memory. UK challenger banks like Monzo are good for current accounts. This isn't sponsored, but their app is great. Chase offers 4.1% interest on savings accounts, so you'll get compensated for keeping your money there. I recommend Ally Bank or Bank of America in the US for their low costs and great internet banking. Number 2, get a credit card. I used to think you had great credit if you never borrowed or paid late. It makes sense. Nothing could be further from the truth. When you turn 18, a credit card is the perfect way to develop credit. You can do this by using your credit card to pay for things you would normally spend cash for, like gas, then paying it off every month. You'll never pay interest while building your credit this way. Credit scores are like Uber ratings for money. Banks evaluate this and decide whether to lend you money and at what rate. Many people are against credit cards because they're taught from a young age that debt is bad. So I know because I was taught that. My dad always said never lend or borrow. Rich people used this slogan for years to hold workers down. They realized working class people might make money by borrowing. The rich wanted to get richer and keep the poor down. If I had a credit card at 18, I could have gotten a mortgage faster and bought my first home. I could have borrowed more at lower rates. That may not seem like much, but over a mortgage, it can add up. Open an investment account third. The trick is opening the right account. U.S. Roth IRA, UK stocks and shares ISA, Canadian TFSA, and Australian supers are common terminology. If you don't have one of these accounts, you're missing out on tax-free investing. Due to their might, they have restrictions. Opening an investment account on your phone is easy today. These investing apps let you buy fractional shares, which is wonderful. You can buy an Apple share for $1 instead of $220. Now I wish I had this option when I was younger to obtain early investment experience without taking significant risks. Fractional shares in stocks and shares ISA make trading 212 one of my favorite investing sites. Both of you get a free share if they fund their accounts. Trading 212 lets you practice investing with fake money, which is cool. You may learn the markets with real data without risking money. If you're uneasy about investing or want to test certain methods before risking your own money, this is a wonderful place to start. Don't worry, if you make an account within 10 days, you will collect your free stock and continue viewing. Number 4, take university seriously. Is university a scam? Many teens ask me. I always say yes and no. Some jobs require university education, such as medicine, nursing, and teaching. This type of university coursework has a direct effect. Your employment options expand with a degree. They are not scams because these occupations affect how society works. I believe these courses should be free and reserved for those with the top grades and professional passion. However, there are many other degrees that don't directly lead to jobs, so why waste your money and time at university on something you don't need? Skills like plumbing, entrepreneurship, and tech don't require degrees. It's more about skill. Track record and results speak for themselves. I read my comments and saw several individuals say they learned more from me than their business degree. It says a lot. I and many other employers value practical experience and attitude over anything else. Don't squander 4 years of your time at university studying something you don't care about. I heard there's a golf management degree. So silly. Personally, I enjoy golf. I recently won the Duke of Edinburgh Cup. I learned to play and handle the game without going to university. It's absurd. It is. I recommend an apprenticeship if you're unsure of your future. They were huge in my day and are now even more popular. Earn as you learn. It's a win-win, in my opinion. Schools and friends may pressure you to go to university, but consider your priorities. Consider the 60100 automobile debt you may have and whether it's worth paying off for life. Number 5, avoid bad debt. Debt weighs you down and prevents you from fulfilling your potential. Debt can be useful when buying a home, for example, because property values rise over time. Buying it with a mortgage can be prudent. Strategic debt use can give you access to assets that can boost your long-term net worth. The same goes for business ownership. If your firm takes off with borrowed money, you can make a lot of money. Without that initial investment, you may fail. That was my experience when I launched my first radio control model shop. I couldn't start without a loan. Consumer debt should be avoided at all costs. If you can't afford something that won't build money, don't buy it. Many individuals finance their cars, which is one example of how borrowing money hurts you. In the UK, 2.2 million drivers finance their automobiles, and I assume most are locked in this money trap. You may desire to drive a certain car. I adore vehicles, so I get it. I understand, but is it worthwhile? Some food for thought. Number 6, start a side gig. Most people advise 18-year-olds to find work. They make it sound awful and like you have no option. It's expected. Be miserable at work. It doesn't have to be this way. No need to wake up feeling stagnant and unprogressive. You can start a service-based side gig with the skills you've learned in this video. This side gig is wonderful. Think copywriting, video editing, videography, site building, and community administration. All demand low beginning capital. Just master the skill thoroughly. If you lack a high-income skill, you must catch up. Whatever job you obtain, exploit it. Make use of your expertise and earnings to elevate your daily routine. It may not teach you anything, but use it as motivation to work more on weekends to improve your circumstances. Start seeing it this way. Every dreaded shift invests in your future. Number 7. Long-term investment. Compound interest is a powerful investing law. You'll earn interest on your initial investment, and on your interest earned, your money may grow over time. Like rolling a snowball down a hill, it keeps growing as snow is added. Say you invest $250 a month in a Roth IRA or stocks and shares ISA at 18. Assuming an 8% annual return by 65, your investment might reach $1.5 million tax-free. If someone starts investing the same amount at 28, by 65, their investment would only reach $679,000 under the same conditions, less than half. More time for interest to build boosts the final amount after 10 years of compounding. Start young for best results. Time will help you, and you'll